Welcome to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling. You are about to discover impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you, so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Be sure you visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now tune in, get ready, and enjoy the journey of emerging as a leader of exception in the 21st century.
Welcome, everyone, to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast. I'm your host, Vicki Noethling, coming to you from Roswell, Georgia. The goal of this podcast is to bring topics and guests that will empower you to become that confident leader and take your business and your life to the next level. Today, I am very excited to have a fellow entrepreneur, Rick Tamlyn, as my guest. And let me tell you about Rick. So Rick inspires people to be their best. His compelling purpose is to encourage and assist others so that they reach the end of their lives. They can say, "This was a great life," rather than, "I wish I had done more." In 2001, Rick co-created The Bigger Game, a tool that inspires people from all walks of life to get out of their comfort zones and invent their lives the way they want them to be. Rick is the author of Play Your Bigger Game, 9 Minutes to Learn, a Lifetime to Live. As a trusted advisor for Fortune 100 companies, small businesses, nonprofits, churches, he has built a global audience, speaking and conducting workshops in more than 17 countries. His current bigger game is to activate millions of people around the world to play their own compelling bigger game. Rick is a certified professional co-active coach. That's a CPCC. I had to look that up. And a master certified coach, as designated by the International Coach Federation, and is a senior trainer for the Coaches Training Institute, a world-renowned coaching, training, and leadership development organization. He has a BA in communications from Hope College in Michigan and an MFA from the University of Connecticut. Today, as mentioned, we're going to talk about resilience, personal growth, and the pursuit of a better life. We all want to find that better life, so let's all take notes as Rick informs us, entertains us, and educates us. Please welcome Rick Tamlyn. Rick, so good to have you finally on my podcast.
I know, right? Thank you. Thank you for the intro. You know, when you hear yourself come back to you, you're like, oh, who's that person? Oh yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
So thank you.
So I think that this title also goes along with, let's have a sub theme. Your other book, 9 Minutes to Learn, a Lifetime to Live.
Actually, that's the subtitle of this book. Yeah, that's what you mean, right?
Yeah. And so we're going to just mold in and find out about those two books. But first, we have two easy questions I always give you.
Okay.
Two easy questions. First is, tell everybody, where do you live now? Where do you call home?
I live in Palm Springs, California, where it's
a beautiful place.
Idyllic.
Yes, a beautiful, beautiful place. And so I gave a little bit about what you're doing today and all the schooling accolades and things. But Rick, we know that the journey is not a straight line, that there are always twists and turns, different stops along the way. So talk to us a little bit about your story, about what led you to do what you do today. What was that pivotal moment that said, you know, I need to do something different with my life, and this is where I'm going?
I'll try to make it as brief as possible. To your point, I mean, the drama and the trauma inside the story is big.
Yes.
So we all have our drama and trauma stories, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so I'm gonna go way back to the informative moment of the bigger game philosophy, which I'll get into the philosophy in a minute, but here's the informing story. I call it an origin story, and I train all my clients. What's your origin story that pulled you to do the work that you want to do?
Yeah.
So my origin story, I'm 16 years old. I have been now elected to be the president of my youth group in northern New Jersey at this beautiful Christian church that I'm now the youth group president. And the minister at the time calls me into his office September 3rd, whatever, it's on, like today's. And he says, "What do you want your year to be about?" First of all, what a great coaching question, right? This
Yeah.
is 1976. Okay, but just
Hmm.
put this in context. And I go, well, I love what we've done in the past. I've been a member of the youth group, and now I'm the senior, and I'm senior in college,
Yeah.
right? And I go, it has to be something bigger. I don't know, it has to be something radical and different. We go bowling, we do a lot of community stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we brainstorm, and he goes, well, what if we come up with this idea? What if we go somewhere and do a major project? Again, put this in context. This is the 70s, okay?
Hmm.
So bottom line is we came up with this idea to take the entire youth group to Annville, Kentucky, a really challenged economic
Yeah.
area in our country at that time. And it was an area that the church had been sending money to. I said, rather than send the money, let's send our bodies. So it becomes this huge project.
Yeah.
In my language, it becomes a bigger game. We bowl for dollars. Now we bowl for airline tickets. Now we do car washes for the sake of for the
Yeah.
money we needed. So now we're now up to something bigger than we know how to do. Now we're going there, we get there, and none of us know how to really rebuild a house. We don't know how to do the things they're asking us to do. But we do it anyway. We pick up hammers, we fix plumbing. We're bringing an electrician with us, so we don't touch electricity. But we're now rebuilding homes. We're building homes. I mean, this was before Jimmy Carter. This is way before that whole thing. So I know it sounds simplistic to hear it, but that moment of the concept of we need to be up to something bigger than we've ever done before designed our year.
Yeah.
And by the way, designed me as a leader. I'm a fan of be up to something really big. You will become a leader for the sake of it. Yeah, I might need to go take a leadership class, but most of us don't need leadership classes to become leaders. We just need to be up to something really big, quote
Yeah.
unquote, that's cause-based, that calls me, that touches my heart, touches my soul, and designs me. Because the
Yeah.
philosophy with a bigger game is playing a bigger game will design who you want to become. We all want to become something, by the way. And well, let me be clear. Not everybody does. I live in Palm Springs. Pickleball is the new game. Lots of people
Yeah.
are
Here
pickleballing. That's
too.
not a bigger game. That's just a pickleball game. But there's also a lot of people around me who are bored out of their minds, are set for retirement forever, and they don't know where to put their attention. Right. So, that whole market is like, help me figure out what to do with my life now because I'm bored out of my mind. I have won the
Yeah.
golden ring. I am free. I mean, here's the thing. Freedom does not equal fulfillment.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So there's the story. The ending of that story real quickly is then I get home, we get home from this thing, and the minister says to me, now you have to give the sermon. You now actually have to stand in front of 400 people and talk to these people. So I
Um,
am nervous. I'm 16
yes.
years old. The days of a projector with the
Yes. Yes.
click,
The,
click, clink, cha-ching,
mhm.
little, and so I'm showing slides. But here's the coolest moment for me in that moment. I had a script ready to read. I start reading it and I hear myself and I'm looking down and I go, this is not the way to do this. I turn the entire script over and I just talk from my heart.
Nice.
And I
Nice.
just talk to the room and I show some slides. There is not a dry eye in the house. I'm crying. They're crying. They're like, when's the next one? Oh my God, we have to do this again next year. And so the resonance and the resilience of and because here's the thing that happened to the youth group the next year, what did they want to do? They wanted to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So that's influence, that's leadership. Very simple idea, and of course it informed a model. I'm not going to go through it now, but there's actually a bigger game model. There's the nine
Nine.
minutes to learn part. So there's the origin story. Now, lots of things along the way. I became an actor. I was in soap operas. I'm in a couple movies. I did some commercials. Didn't really like it, but I realized I love to be in front of people. So
Yeah.
the entertainer in me just needed a different home. So now I
Yeah.
speak, I train, I teach, I go on Zoom calls like this. Like, I got a job to do because I love marrying information, inspiration, and conversation.
Awesome. So beautiful. And, it's funny, you and I are close to the same age. And for me, whenever I always did volunteer work,
Mm.
my dad, who worked three jobs, always somehow fit in
Yeah, right?
doing those volunteering. And
Yeah,
my mom was a stay-home mom, and sometimes that aggravated her. But for me, I saw it as a different way. It's like, gosh, his
yeah,
time is so valuable, but he is giving it back. And so I started doing the same thing and did Habitat House,
yeah.
and
Habitats for
that
Humanity.
just it just changed
It
my whole
changes.
world. Yeah, it
Changes.
changed my whole world, doing that and doing walks for causes
Yep,
and all those things.
yep,
And it, of course, it informed my leadership skills
yep. Of
today
course.
as well.
Of course. What can I just comment on the word?
Yeah,
We want to make changes, but until we have a good enough reason that's bigger than us, most of us won't change.
yeah, yeah,
Like I take care of myself better than I ever have taken care of myself at 66 because I have a bigger game to play to the end of my life. So
yeah,
self-care is now like paramount, rather than I should take, the conversation we have in our head and we talk to clients about this all the time. I should take better care of myself. I should eat better. I should drink less. And there's no good enough reason to not.
yeah.
Because the
We,
human being, dare I say, wants to drift towards comfort.
yeah.
Just does.
I
Easy.
know.
I want it to be easy. And it's like, oh my gosh, can we finally set that down and go, when you're up to something really that matters, it doesn't feel hard, it feels compelling, right? So
One of the other influences, and I don't know if you saw this too, but I was in the corporate world for over 40 years. And the last company I was with, UPS, a lot of the senior leaders that I worked directly for were retiring at after 40 years of
yeah,
being in the job. Not granted, UPS was great because in the 27 years I was there, I probably had 14 different jobs. So I
yeah,
didn't have to
right,
leave the building or the
right.
country. But what I found too was a lot of those individuals, because when they retired, they no longer had purpose.
Correct. They don't know where to put their attention.
Their lives, it's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
they're
Yep.
gone.
The
And
rudder.
and and so even with my parents, my dad, he retired from the post office. Then he went to work for another car dealership. And he went back. He retired from that car dealership three times
Yeah, and
because
they're
he kept on going back. And
right.
here we are, retired and doing this. And like every day, I am so happy to get up and give back, and I think that's what makes this freedom for me, even though I'm busy and doing
Of
things.
course. Here you are
But
doing a podcast, right? You're on a mission.
yes,
Right?
and
It's
just
it,
like
it's
you.
it's mission living. It's not
Yes.
just money living.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, mission living. We should put that in the show notes for sure. Mission living. So, in a recent blog, you wrote that
Uh-oh.
at some point you've got to step up and
Mm,
share what you believe about life, not just what you do for a living, but about how you see the world and the insights you've gained along the way. Why is it
mm,
important for the
mm.
audience to understand this statement?
Well, let me give that some context. So now my
Hmm.
business life, I have about 35 clients that I help with their entrepreneurial businesses. And most of the people I attract are in the leadership development space, personal growth space, spiritual development space, some health coaches. My philosophy is people are drawn to your philosophy as well as your service.
Yeah.
Right? My book is a philosophy. A book is your philosophy. This is a philosophy.
Hmm.
It's a model, but it's a philosophy. Think about any good religion. It's a
Yeah.
philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
And they stand in a pulpit and they preach that thing, and either you align with it and go, that's amazing, I love that, or you go, that's crazy, and you walk out. So it either creates attraction or repulsion.
Yeah.
But what's really confusing is when people don't actually declare who they are, what they're about, what they're made of, what do they believe, how it works. I mean, without that, you're not a leader. You're just a
Mm.
director of humans.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the, I mean, it's gutsy. I mean, I don't know exactly when you're going to air this, but we're in this United States, this political thing that's going on, right? It's like,
Yeah.
lots of opinions. And, the one who is the loudest or the greatest or the one that aligns with the most people wins, if you will.
Mm.
So we're not going to get political, but that's an example of leadership. Whether you
Yeah.
like it or not, it does animate and activate an energy and a philosophy. Because every book, by the way, is somebody's philosophy. If you're in the
That's
personal,
true.
every
That's
book's
true.
your philosophy. So I'm always a fan of not, you don't have to always lead with your philosophy, but make sure there's a form in which it comes through,
Yeah.
right? Otherwise, I don't know what I might be buying the service. But even I have an investment person, but I've asked him about his philosophy for life and what does he think about Mother Earth and what do you invest, where are your dollars are you suggesting we put our money? I need to know his ethics and his values
Yeah.
because he could be putting it in building atomic bombs. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't, like, nope, sorry, thanks so much. So,
Yeah.
that's our philosophical, contextual understanding about who am I following, where am I throwing my money, where am I
Yeah.
investing, if you will. So that's why I talk about that a lot. I talk about a lot about with my clients,
Yeah.
right? People are
That
buying you, not just the service from you.
that's right. I say that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you need to be vulnerable and you need to be
Yeah.
willing to share who you are and
Yeah.
understand that not everybody's going to love you or like you even,
No,
but that's okay because,
we
there's
don't.
a, we
Yeah.
can't fix the whole world, but
No.
there's
Right.
a at least a handful of people that might
Right.
resonate with what we have to
Yeah,
say.
exactly. I mean, if you think about it from an entrepreneurial, how many clients do you need? I need 30. Okay, there's 3 million that live within 20 blocks of me. Okay, the chances are high if I go speak somewhere in my village, and get my voice in front of people, at least 3 will come towards me and go, "Can I talk to you again?"
Yeah,
Happens all the time. Speaking, by the
yeah,
way, fastest path to your success. Speaking.
that's
Here I am
exactly right.
speaking on your podcast, right?
And we are the better for it.
Well, thank you.
So you
That's
also talk about being in the flow.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I really think this is a point that not everybody understands, but they do. So what
yeah.
does it mean to be in the flow and out of the flow?
hmm I know it's such a well, there's great books out there, by the way, on
Yeah.
I'm not a I'm not like I'm not a Brene Brown. I didn't study the word like a Brene Brown person had studied, vulnerability. But I have my take on it, and it is very bigger game oriented. When you have a bigger game that has grabbed your imagination and your attention, my definition of flow is you lose track of time.
Mhm. Yeah.
You lose track of time, and it
Hmm.
no longer, the second requirement is it no longer feels like work.
Yeah.
Might take a lot of time, like, oh my God, I worked 10 hours today, but you barely notice.
Hmm.
Now, let's be also real. There's things in your business or things that you do you don't like to do. Like, oh my God, I have to learn a software package like I do an event online. I have to learn a software package that I don't have to, I should just hire somebody. I have to do a social media post. I don't know what button to push. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's just the logistics of it. But when you're in flow, I think creativity happens, and I'm going to get a little Elizabeth Gilbert on us. Big Magic. If you all don't know Big Magic, I
Hmm.
highly recommend you read
Yeah.
it. You get downloads. You're in an energetic sort of space of mostly fascination, not frustration. You're curious. There's an open at the top. You're not reactive. You're creative. We've heard these terms before. And we go in and out of flow, by the way. Let's be real. It's not like it's, oh, it's handled. I'm in flow. You wake up one day and you're like, you had a bad dream because by the way, I believe the unconscious part of ourselves designs as much as the conscious
Yeah,
part of
I
ourselves.
agree. I agree.
Right? You wake up in the middle, you're like, why am I so off today? Probably had a shadow dream in the middle of the night and you woke up scared, but you don't know you don't remember the dream, right? But it's in there. So that's maybe like an out of flow moment. But here's some philosophy I want to offer to from language to put us into flow.
Hmm.
Three ways to live life, I believe. Very simple language, borrowed from a master coach friend of mine. For three ways to live life. Life happens to me, pretty much the victim thing, and then this happened to me, and we even say it. Oh my God, the traffic that happened to me today, and to me, you can feel it. The coffee didn't maker didn't work, and that we all know that. That's sort of the resonance of that is pretty low. We know people that hang out there, you know, sort of on a resonance scale, it's pretty low vibration, right? People want to be around that kind of complaining. We know these people. And they don't always mean to be there, but they just kind of get caught there because it's easier to be there. It's just easier, right? And sidebar moment of that. For some people, that's the way they connect to other people, to collude and complain together.
Yeah, I've
Do that
seen that.
train that in corporate. It's like, okay, you do realize that you're complaining together to feel connected?
Yeah,
There's other ways to connect. You don't have to do it through complaining, right?
so
Because
true.
then you create a cluster of complaining and then it. So, okay, to me. And then the second way to live life is for me.
Yeah.
This is perspective work. This is about seeing your life from a context of this happened for me, so I could learn this lesson. This happened for me. Like I went bankrupt so I could learn how to be a better business owner. Right? All
Yeah.
circumstances, really tough. This is really tough, right? But when you can really kind of go, it's a spiritual concept. Many people will throw it into a Christian belief or a Hindu belief or, whatever religion you believe in. It's sort of like, this has happened for my highest good, even though in the
Hmm.
moment it sucks.
Yeah, I
This,
also,
yeah,
I was just going to say, I often say when somebody has a traumatic experience
yeah,
or a life-threatening experience that
yeah,
they came out of, I would say, God
opportunity.
or someone has something more for you to do.
There you go. Exactly. That's the for me. And you kind of just gave me the third language. You decide that something wants to come through me.
Ah,
So the book is a through me. A podcast is a through you. You've decided to go public and go I'm going to go a little metaphysical for a second, into the quantum field of energy. And you've decided to put your message and invite other people into your podcast to actually change the quantum field energetically, logistically, economically, whatever word you want to throw in there. You're one of those people that said, I got to change the space.
yeah.
And that's a through me moment. Not everybody wants to do that. My people do. Bigger game is a through me. What
Hmm.
wants to come through me? What happened to me? Because by the way, they all touch each other. What happened to me that then I can turn it into a for me, and then I can go to wants to come through me.
Yeah.
Great talks
Beautiful.
are through me.
Hmm.
The overcome story. We all hear a great talk. It's like, this happened to me and then this happened to me, but I overcame it and look who I am now. And people go, wow. Right. Very quickly, an example. I'm a gay man. Didn't go so well. By the way, that great church story, that went south.
Yeah.
Kristen turned on me, right? No, you're not really gay. No, no, we don't really do the gay thing. No, no, Rick, you're not. I mean, really, just shut it all down. Okay, go to college. 5 years later, figured it all out. So, but what do I do now? This is an example of sort of the metaphor that I've played with around it is like I out people. That's my business because closeted sucked.
I love it.
Right? Like closeted was horrible.
Yeah.
I pretended to date women. I mean, I did the whole pretend everything. I can tell you story after story, but it was like, okay, this is not working. It's so out of sync. By the way, no flow,
Yeah.
no flow. Shut down, depressed, probably overdrank. What's wrong with me? Okay, I'm a closeted gay man. That's what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with me, but the world is voting, right? And even as I talk right now, the world is going to go, oh, or yay, or who, like who, right? I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
This is
what?
it. Like, this is the game. This is the 66. This is the package, you know? So, but
As we
it,
said, people will love you or people will not. And
yeah,
who
exactly.
cares?
Who cares? You know, I don't
Mhm.
mean to dismiss people, but I'm
Yes.
not going to diminish myself because I'm worried about people dissing me. So we
Yeah.
diminish ourselves because, uh-oh, I don't want to upset anybody. But as trainers and coaches and thought leaders, and do you know that we're in the disruption business? Leaders are
That's
disrupt
right.
leaders are
That's right.
disruptors, right? And that can create havoc and all right, you know. So anyway, there's a lot in there. I don't want to ask anything about that, but there's some
That's
philosophy.
perfect. And even, if you take your story and just switch it around just to so
Yeah,
many people in corporate and in business wear a mask of who they think other
yeah,
people
yeah.
expect them to be, and they're miserable and they're
They're miserable.
terrible. And,
Yeah,
even myself, the management style that I was taught
yeah,
and had to unlearn basically was one that just always made me frustrated and felt like I wasn't enough. And
yeah,
it wasn't until I at 50 got my degree
yeah,
and realized going through school as I'm on the road traveling for work that yes, I am enough and I do know stuff
yeah.
and I am making a difference. And that changed my whole trajectory,
Yep.
changed everything because no longer did I care about pleasing anyone but myself.
Well, the whole not enough thing. I mean, you and I could do a workshop on that for like 3
Yes.
then not enough. It's never enough. I never have enough money. I never have enough time. I never have enough whatever, right? So that's the thing. Just a reference point for that conversation. I love referring other great
Hmm.
trainers out there. So oh my God, Liz Gilbert, and then there's Lynn Twist. Lynn Twist. Her name is Lynn Twist, Twist. I recommend her highly. She does an amazing keynote. She wrote a book called by the way called Living a Committed Life. She and I are
Ah,
sort of cousins in this territory of living something bigger than you know how to do. But she does a talk. This is gonna not be pretty. But when she names it, the room goes silent. I've been in a room with 5,000 people and the room goes silent. She says there's three things that are causing the pain for most of us. And the first one is more is better.
mm,
More is better. More money, more time, more stuff, more like you just think about how many hours we spend in the more
yeah,
conversation. It's
yeah,
not a bad, she goes, it's not a bad thing, but just notice part two to the story, which is really painful, is there's not enough.
mm,
So the lack inside the abundant, I want more, but there might not be enough. That's
mm,
sales 101, right? Like, let's
yeah,
create hunger because there might not be enough cars. We watched it in the
mm.
pandemic. There might not be enough toilet paper. I buy thousands of toilet papers. Like, this is ridiculous, right? Like, what's happening? Because that's fear-based, right? So, more is better, not enough. The third, these are called assumptions. She calls them assumptions. The third assumption, really painful, is, oh, well, that's just the way it is. I'll tolerate it.
Yeah.
And the room goes, so she has some solutions to it. And you kind of named it, Vicky. You don't have to live from that context. You don't have to live from that philosophy. But she says that's the that's the quantum field voice coming at us all
Hmm.
the time.
Yeah.
And do we live into it or do we just like, I'm not choosing to live like that? Because
Mm.
how we choose to live is our choice.
Yeah.
You know, and one of my favorite distinctions is, am I living a circumstantial life, meaning I'm managing the circumstances? Or am I living a leadership life am I designing my life?
Mm.
Because it's easier to deal with the circumstances than it is to take responsibility for my
Yeah.
life. It's just
Yeah.
easier. Oh, there's a
It's
gutter to fix, right?
yeah.
There's stuff to fix, so I don't have time to. It's fascinating. So anyway,
Yeah. And I generally find that if it comes easy, it doesn't always,
yeah,
usually doesn't fulfill you.
yeah,
And there is that satisfaction whenever you do the work,
yeah,
put in
yeah,
the time,
Yeah,
to feel I did something. I did that. I built that. I made that. I think
correct.
I that's why I love to do crafts and sewing and
Right.
things like that, because at the end of that time, those
Yeah.
hours,
You're like, you made something.
yeah, yeah. You pointed to the book. Yeah,
Yeah. There's your
the
book, right?
first time I did a compilation book,
Yeah.
I did it in like the chapter in 4 hours, and it was like
I know,
didn't
right?
even think about it. It just like flowed out.
Yeah.
But somebody else might take 4 years to do that because you get in your head. But it was so fulfilling to do that, and it made me then say, okay, I have the courage, I confidence. I'm going to do another one and another one and another one, and
Yeah.
that's where I think that's where we all need to kind of get our head space in.
Yeah. Can I
Um,
have one opinion?
mhm.
I have this perspective on confidence that's a little countercultural. I get it. Everybody wants confidence, and when I have confidence, then I'll do it. I don't think we actually, I don't, finding confidence is really hard. My other word that I play with is commitment.
Oh
Commitment.
yeah,
Just be committed. You're a parent. I'm an uncle. I don't think about and go, I need to be, you don't think around, you don't go, you wake up in the morning, I need to be a more confident parent. You're just committed to your daughter.
yeah.
Period. End of story. You don't even think about personal development.
Hmm.
But most of us are like, oh, I need to be confident. I'll take a confidence workshop. It's like, bigger game for me is like, no, just be committed to the game and then show up a lot and speak and talk and do a thing and write a book. And, like, just go,
Yeah.
right? Just go.
That's why I love the format of this whole podcast is
Yeah.
to just show people over and over again
Yeah. Yeah.
that they aren't uh I shouldn't say anything special, but they went through tough times. They went through
Yeah. Yeah.
pivots and changes, and they came out on the other side because they were committed, because they were resilient, because they had courage to say yes when they had no idea how they were going to do the next step.
Resilience for me, by the way, is a backward looking rather than I need to become resilient. We just are resilient because we're
Mm,
committed to living.
yeah. Oh, that's very good.
It's
That's
a
very good.
backwards thing. Like people like, I need to be resilient. It's like, no, you just need to be committed to life
Yeah,
and you
that's
become,
right.
you know,
Exactly.
it's like,
That's
oh, I want to live a better life. Okay. Oh, I guess I'm resilient. I don't know. I don't know how to do a resilience class. I really don't,
very good.
you know,
You
so
you you talk about a book that influenced your goal setting, and I have not read this book. I will, though. It's A Happy Pocket Full of Money.
bring it up.
There
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is, right there, by David Cameron. Is it Gikandi?
I think it's Jikandi.
Gikandi?
Jikandi. Yeah.
So what lessons did you learn from that book?
Oh my gosh. Well, there's
Maybe
about
just one or two.
yeah, let's just go to one or two. Well, first of all, a lot of mindset. He's a firm believer that money is a mindset game first.
Hmm.
The inner life of your and but the biggest thing I learned that I'm going to do a class based on this book that's
Oh,
coming.
good.
Maybe I can drop it in the chat or give you a link if people want to check it
Hmm.
out. Um, but the biggest thing I've learned is what is my relationship with money? It actually has a huge impact to how much money I have. Here's what I mean by that. So I will go for walks in my area. I'm going to give you all an example. I go for walks in my area. There's car dealers in my area. There's Cadillacs, there's BMWs, there's Chevys, right? And I look at a car and the newest Cadillac by the Lyric, the electric one, it sits there at $120,000,
A
right? Just
house. House.
right. I know, right? In RJ, that was out. But here's the fascinating thing. I have to catch myself because I go, oh my God, that's so much money. Okay, right there, that's an indicator I have
Yeah.
a really bad relationship with big money because that's not big money for the people who are buying that.
No.
That's not big money. I mean, it's just money. So money has no energy other than the energy I give it. We know
Hmm.
this. So, but I have to keep catching what is my relationship with money? What is my relationship for people that have no money? What is my relationship with people who are billionaires? I can lose my bejeevers on the million billionaires who run big companies. And then I go, and I have to go, like the healthy me goes, I'm not going to get into their philosophy or their value systems. Put that aside. So hear this in the
Hmm.
right context, everybody. Like, good for them. They have figured something out I haven't. Steve Jobs figured out something I didn't know how to do. He's not
Right.
smarter than me. He moved a little faster than me. He asked for help better than me, and he decided to play bigger than me.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. He's not smarter than me because he brought in smart people because he wasn't the scientist to understand how to do the swishing on the iPhone. He just had the vision of the iPhone. He also, by the way, didn't go in it for money. He didn't focus on the money. He focused on the impact of the tool that gave him all the money.
Hmm.
So I'm an imp when I train my people, I'm like, focus on the impact you want to have, the income will follow.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
because
the
he addressed a need. And
total,
whenever, yeah,
well, I don't even think we know we needed it.
yeah. Oh,
We didn't even know it. He opened up a pan like, oh my God, I can do 75,000 things in my hand,
yeah,
right? And created an entire global industry.
yeah,
I don't even think he knew that was coming.
yeah, most likely not.
So this guy, this brilliant book. The other thing is there's mantras. I'm becoming a new fan of
Oh, yes, yes.
the daily mindset mantra. What
Mm-hmm.
am I telling myself? Though that's my inside voice. What am I saying to myself about money? If I'm judging the Cadillac, I'm never going to have the Cadillac, right? If I want the, I mean, I want the Cadillac, but you know what I mean? It's like, so my relationship with money starts to inform my conversation with money. Because if you
Mm.
think about money as an entity and its own energy, I need to be in better relationship with it. Not do I
Oh,
have it or not? So it's a different
excellent.
way to look at money as an entity, an energetic entity, which he kind of speaks to.
So for our last question, you showed in the very beginning your 9 minutes to learn. I'd like for you just to share that again and just
Yeah,
briefly talk about that.
sure. Well, first of all, the book is Play Your Bigger Game. The subtitle is 9 Minutes to Learn a Lifetime to Live. Here's what the 9 minutes mean. Literally, it's 1 minute on each square. This is the simplest
Okay.
model ever created.
Yeah.
The conversation it creates is profound. So simple models create powerful conversation. So I just did a workshop last week for 30 leaders in a corporation to help them understand what does it mean to play a bigger game. So time-wise, I probably don't have time to talk about all of these right now, but all of you know all of these words. Hunger, compelling purpose, bold action, investment, sustainability. Where this came from, these 9 elements, where I call them squares, is after talking to probably 30,000 people over the last 40 years of my life. These 9 elements are in the background all the time of the more successful person.
Hmm.
They're like the software.
Hmm.
This is like the code, if you will, for the hardware called me creating the life I want. What are you
Awesome.
hungry for? What are you compelled by? What are your comfort zones? Time to take bold action. And there's no right place to start. It's a tic-tac-toe board, so it feels light and like a game,
Hmm. Very cool.
right? So if, by the way, it's a half-day workshop, it's a one-day workshop, it's a two-day workshop, it's a retreat. I've turned it into 87 different things. It's a keynote. And I feel blessed. The major corporations have, IBM in particular, I'm allowed to say their name out loud. They flew me around the globe for a year delivering the bigger game workshop for probably 1,000 people. So I
Wow,
feel
that's
very blessed.
fantastic.
Yeah. So I felt very honored that this very simple model became a game-changing conversation for people.
And that's within the book.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely. This is a little card. This is online if you want to get to it, but this also, yeah, that model absolutely lives in the book. And I explain it, and the
Awesome.
stories, and my story to the model. Why did I come up with this? All the stuff you've been asking today. So, and my philosophy,
Excellent.
right? A lot of philosophy in this book.
Well, you
So,
shared so many great tips, wonderful advice for people, and a lot of
mm,
resources that and references that I'm sure the audience will benefit from. If you out there are wanting to get to know Rick a little better or use his service, get him to come and do a workshop for you, I'm going to share, as always, my contact information for Rick. You know the drill. If you haven't taken notes, shame on you. Everything is going to be available on my YouTube channel, Vicki Noethling, so please do subscribe, as well as my findyourleadershipconfidence.com website in the show notes. The website is his name. He made it easy for you. It's Rick Tamlyn. That's RickTam, like Mary, LYN.com. Instagram is his name as well, Rick Tamlyn. LinkedIn is Rick-Tamlyn with some numbers, but if you just search Rick Tamlyn, you will find him. YouTube at Rick Tamlyn Bigger Game. Again, YouTube is at Rick Tamlyn Bigger Game. You want to check that YouTube site out, see what he's got out there. And I'm going to turn it over to Rick to talk to you about some things you'll find on his website and where he may spend the most time, or what he puts out there on LinkedIn that might help you.
Yeah. I do some posting on LinkedIn. I don't do any lives on LinkedIn. Where I hang out most is my Instagram page, right? Is where I seem to be attracting, and I seem to have more freedom there. I just want to,
Yeah.
Instagram for me feels more freedom and more creative, just my take on it. And in terms of get on my website, ricktamlyn.com. I do a weekly quote unquote informational and inspirational newsletter every Sunday. Offer wisdom, offer ideas. And then the latest thing, I just want to be, you're nice to let me do this. I've talked about this book. I am doing my own version of a abundance/money class starting in January. So if you want to
Perfect.
get to that,
Perfect
everybody,
timing.
yeah, right. January, and consciousness of money. We're going to get a money plan going. So it's both sort of inner life and outer life with money. ricktamlyn.com/abundance. Really easy. Right. That's
Very
the place
good.
to go grab it. So thank you.
Awesome. Rick, thank you so much for taking time today to be with us, have this great conversation about the bigger game and 9 minutes to learn and a lifetime to live. We talked about resilience. We talked about personal goals, and I think one of the great nuggets you gave was the mission.
Are you living a mission-oriented life
Yeah.
or a
Yeah.
money-oriented life? I know,
Yeah.
ironically, I'm giving them, workshop on money, but we're going to talk about mission inside.
Mission.
Talk about, you're not on a mission, the money gets harder, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So.
Well, as always, I remind everyone that life is a journey and it's up to you to enjoy the ride. This is Vicki Noethling signing off.
Thank you for tuning into the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling, where we share impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Remember to visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast.